three major components to AI, right? It starts with compute, data, and models. Compute problem was solved a couple of years back by NVIDIA. There was a lot of data that was available. That's why we could have a model like OpenAI's model that could power ChatGPT, right? But today we are at a point where there is enough compute, not much needed for training, but maybe for inference, it's absolutely fine. But the models are continuously evolving, right? There is a need for a lot of data sets to make the models much better, because most of the models that powered ChatGPT wrappers back then were not so useful as now. You need apps which are much more vibrant, AI apps which solve multiple problems, not just conversational bots. So people are looking for models that can provide that, right? In order to make the specialized model, you need data sets that can power these specialized models. Data sets that are unique, data sets that you can get from specialized skilled persons, data sets that you can find with enterprises, the ones that are not on the internet, right? So if you take a look at the overall app, we talked about how apps are evolving. Most of the apps today are human-coded, right? You have human-coded apps which have an application logic, which have a database that power these apps. But apps are moving away from there. You've seen apps to become AI agents, agents which use models. For example, an app like Perplexity is an agent which uses multiple smaller specialized models to give you an answer. It is trying to replace Google search, which is a very analog-focused, application-driven app, right? So for these apps to perform better, you need models which are trained on unique data sets that you don't find on the internet. And there are people who have started seeking building specialized models for these. Apps which are focused towards, let's say, fitness, and a model that is focused for that. An app that is focused for trading, an app that is focused for finance, or an app that is focused for various other use cases that we'd see. And what we would like to do in OpenLedger is to see how we can enable this to be done at scale. If you take a look at a quick comparison, a little bit of deviation, right? Humans think very similarly to how agents are, or agents think how humans think it's all, right? We give a stimuli to our brain, we use our like a short-term memory or long-term memory to make a decision, and then we pass it on to our organs to actually make an execution work, right? Very similarly, agents do the same. You give an input to an agent, it processes through its own brain, which is an LLM, and then it uses a RAG, then executes it by posting on Telegram or Twitter or whatever. For all of these agents, the usual model or the knowledge base is a larger language model, right? Which is trained on entrant data. But as I told you, this is changing. People want something much more specialized. How humans want to go to a specialized person, how humans would want to go to, let's say, a surgeon for surgery, not a general practitioner. Agents want better models. Agents need these models to be much more efficient so that they don't hallucinate and actually get the job done. There are much more models being launched over the last 2 years post the ChatGPT moment. There are models like Medfarm, Bloomberg, which are specialized models which have been trained on specialized dataset, enterprise datasets, which have outperformed ChatGPT and other larger language models in the sector they're built for. OpenLedger lets this to be done at scale. We provide an end-to-end infrastructure. It's a layer 2, which orchestrates data contributors to come forward and build specialized AI models, and we use attribution to reward them back with rewards that is generated from these models. There are multiple components that goes in terms of building a model. The first one is the model proposal layer. We enable users to tokenize and launch an AI model on top of us. They propose what kind of models they want to build. They propose the data that they require as well. And once that is done, it is posted on our OpenLedger blockchain. Think of that to be like a smart contract with a rule engine of what kind of data sets they need. And once that is posted, users can go ahead and contribute data sets to this contract. These data sets could be code or code descriptions or anything that is related based on the model that is proposed, right? If it's a model that is regarding programming, you can go ahead and contribute code-based data sets. You could answer questions. It could be like a question and answer, which could train these models better, or it could just be an audio content or a video content that you're uploading. It's based on the model that's being proposed. And once the data is being contributed, we provide with a no-code platform. The model builder chooses the data set that is relevant for him, chooses the base model that is needed, and starts to train the model on top of this no-code platform. We support LoRa fine-tuning, which enables models to be trained on top of us, and it goes through a process of iteration. Once a model is trained with the data set, it is evaluated, questions are asked. If it works well, it's taken forward, or else they can train back again. We provide an end-to-end platform that lets you do that. Once these models are trained, it comes to the deployment layer, which is OpenLoRa. We provide a modelized deployment layer where you can have a base model and the fine-tuned model separated and launched in one single GPU. And then once your model is out, we start to enable attribution, right? The model gets used, the model gets paid. As this model gets inferred, users interact with this model. As the interaction happens, the reward goes back to the data contributor. So we attribute based on every inference. Every time a model throws out an inference, we figure out which data causes that inference to happen, and then we reward the data contributors for the data that they provided. OpenLedger is a layer 2 that brings all of this on-chain. The data contributor is on-chain. The data that's used in the model is stored on-chain as well. The model is versioned on-chain. And once a model gets used, once the model makes revenue, and once the inference is out, on every inference we figure out which data is contributing for that, and we store the proof of attribution on-chain as well. It's built on an OP stack. We settle on ETH. This was purpose-built to enable more and more data contributors to come forward, build models on us, and get rewarded for that. Think of us to be the Web3 version of Hugging Face, right? The last piece is that I would like to explain about the projects that are building on top of us. We have various projects building across various sectors. Some of the interesting ones is this one that is built by an ex-Google DeepMind guy. It's called Data Intelligence Layer. Basically, it has verticalized internet data sets, internet data across various topics like sports, finance, and so and so. This is a model that's going to power other models to be built on us. The second one is a DeFi model, a model which is trained on DeFi data sets, which includes on-chain data and off-chain sentiments as well. This will enable better DeFi agents to be built, or trading insight providing agents as well, where you can just query it and you get to know about what can be traded. The third one is a DePIN model, which is based on weather data. It's built by a company called Ambios. They're building a model that can enable better prediction of weather. And this model is much better than any larger language model, because larger language models do not have these kind of data sets. So these can power unique use cases like this. The last one is a Solidity model, which is a programming-based model. I'm sure that you guys have heard about Cursor. Cursor is a well-known model that's used for programming. It understands top 30 programming languages, but does not understand Solidity. Right? It's not an expert in Solidity. So this model is dedicated for Solidity. It's programmed and made using like Solidity data sets, contracts. It's used a lot of 10 years worth of on-chain data that's been trained on this. This can enable better co-pilots to be built, right? Better co-pilots, better audit agents can be built using this Solidity model. All of these are models that's been built on OpenLedger over the last 6 months. These are being built on testnet, and they go mainnet as we go as well. We have about 1.1 million nodes that are currently providing data sets to our platform. These are people across the globe that are contributing to us. Apart from this, we have an enterprise side. We work with a lot of enterprises by providing them with fine-tuning services. We work with Walmart. We work with the Biotax Authority. We work with Viacom and many more brands, enabling them to build specialized models for themselves. The last piece I would like to call what we're doing as the YouTube moment for AI. If you take a look at the internet, right, when YouTube happened, the pre-monetization of YouTube was not so great. You had very bad content on YouTube. It was not so useful. Not many people used it. But once it started monetizing, you had YouTubers as a profession, right? You had businesses that came forward and contributed content to like YouTube and enabled that to be much enriched. That's what enriched the internet as well. And very similarly, OpenLedger, we would like to have people contribute data sets, make data contribution as a profession, have businesses come forward and contribute data as well. That can enable better models to be built. What we are essentially doing is to figure out how we can monetize Hugging Face using crypto rails, right? And that's what we do, and we're backed by some bunch of good investors. We're funded by Polyshan Capital, Borderless, and many more, and a lot of angels in the space. And as I told you, we are currently in testnet, going mainnet soon. We have 10 plus models being built on us. If you guys are interested in building AI models or agents that need unique models, hit me up. I'll be around. And thank you for this opportunity. I'm glad that I could talk to you guys. If you have any questions, please do let me know. Thank you. Thank you.